While modern civilizations exist on every continent except Antarctica, most researchers believe that the first civilizations originated in modern-day Iraq, Egypt, India, China, Peru, and Mexico between around 4000 and 3000 BC. Let us dig a little deeper. Let's go. These ancient complex cultures, beginning with Mesopotamia, developed cultural and technological breakthroughs, many of which may still be seen today. A great many of the details of modern life, not just in the Middle East and the West, but across the world, have origins that go back thousands of years to the ancient cultures in their respective regions, says Amanda Podani, author and professor emeritus of history at California State Polytechnic University. Here's a look at 6 of the world's first civilizations and the legacy they left behind. 1. Mesopotamia, 4000-3500 BC. Mesopotamia, which means between two rivers in Greek, is often regarded as the origin of civilization. Despite frequent fighting, the culture that developed between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers made significant advances in reading, astronomy, agriculture, law, mathematics, architecture, and other fields. Mesopotamia also had the world's earliest urban cities, such as Babylon, Ashur, and Akkad. Mesopotamia is the earliest urban literate civilization on the globe, and the Sumerians who established the civilization established the ground rules, says Kenneth Harrell, author, consultant, and emeritus professor of history at Tulane University. Those who know how to research and write run the civilization, and everyone else does the grunt work. The cuneiform writing system, which was used to create the Code of Hammurabi, is one of the most well-known Mesopotamian achievements. They also developed the base 60 numeral system, which resulted in the 60-second minute, 60-minute hour, and 360-degree circle. And it was Babylonian astronomy that first divided the year into 12 periods named after constellations, which the Greeks later adapted into the zodiac. 2. Ancient Egypt, 3100 BC. Ancient Egypt, perhaps the most romanticized of former civilizations, was one of history's most formidable empires for over 3,000 years. The civilization is best renowned for its pyramids, tombs, and mausoleums, as well as the practice of mummification to prepare bodies for the afterlife. It was once located along the fertile Nile River and stretched from modern-day Syria to Sudan. According to Harrell, author of the forthcoming book, Empires of the Steppes, How the Steppe Nomads Forged the Modern World, Egypt was unrivaled in its use of labor to complete architectural projects such as the pyramids. The ability to amass 100,000 men to assemble the Great Pyramid in 2600 BC is just not matched anywhere, he said. He says that the Egyptians excelled in agriculture and medicine. They also established magnificent sculpture and painting techniques. The ancient Egyptians also left behind enormous writing and mathematical systems. The cubit, a length measurement roughly equivalent to the span of a forearm, was used to create pyramids and other monuments. They created the 24-hour day and the 365-day calendar during this time. They also invented the hieroglyphic pictorial writing system, which was succeeded by the hieroglyphic system that employed ink on papyrus paper. Alexander the Great conquered the civilization in 332 BC, marking the end of its existence. 3. Ancient India, 3300 BC. Religion, along with rich literary traditions and amazing architecture, was highly valued in ancient India, where Hinduism originated according to Harrell. The Upanishads, or sacred Hindu writings, contain notions about rebirth and a caste structure based on birthright, both of which have survived until current times. Unlike other ancient civilizations, the Indus River Valley civilization, which was developed in the Indus River Valley, modern-day India, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, did not appear to be war-torn. Instead, historians and archaeologists point to sophisticated, well-organized city design, complete with homogeneous baked brick dwellings, a grid structure, and drainage, sewage, and water supply systems. The collapse of the Indus Valley circa 1700 BC is frequently attributed to migration triggered by climatic change or potential tectonic movement that caused the Saraswati River to dry up. Others cite a massive flood. 4. Ancient China, 2000 BC. For ages, the ancient Chinese civilizations thrived in seclusion from invaders and other foreigners, sheltered by the Himalayan mountains, Pacific Ocean, and Gobi Desert, and located between the Yellow and Yangtze rivers. To halt the Mongols from coming from the north, they built walls that some consider to be early antecedents to the Great Wall of China, which was built later in 2020 BC. Ancient China was ruled by rulers from 4 dynasties: Xia, Shang, Zhou, and Qin. The civilization is credited for creating the decimal system, abacus, and sundial, as well as the printing press, which enabled the production and distribution of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, which is still relevant over 2,500 years later. Like the Egyptians, the ancient Chinese were able to mobilize communities to construct huge infrastructural projects. The creation of the 5th century Grand Canal, which connects the Yellow and Yangtze rivers, for example, enabled large quantities of armed forces and merchandise to travel across the country. China is perhaps the most successful centralized state in human history, Harl points out, and at several points in human history is without a doubt the greatest civilization that stayed on the globe. 5. Ancient Peru, 1200 BC. Peru was home to various civilizations, including the Chavan, Paracas, Nazca, Huari, Moche, and Inca. Archaeologists have discovered evidence of metallurgy, ceramics, and advanced medicinal and agricultural practices among these civilizations. The civilization culminated in the ancient Inca Empire, which spanned from Colombia to Chile and is most known for the Andean metropolis of Machu Picchu, which has an extensive municipal grid. The Incas did not create a writing system. Instead, they used images and symbols. They did, however, use a knot-based accounting system, build paved roads across rough terrain to connect towns and settlements, and develop sophisticated agricultural and architectural advancements. Smallpox and other diseases introduced to South America by the Spaniards decimated the Inca populations, according to Harl, generating an internal weakness that aided the Francisco Pizarro-led invasion in 1532. So many people were being carried off by disease, they had no immunity, he said. So rather than the state itself weakening in any significant way, it was disease introduced by the outside that helped prepare for the Inca toppling of civilization in Peru. 6. Ancient Mesoamerica, 1200 BC. A number of indigenous cultures once lived in parts of today's Mexico and Central America, beginning with the Olmec approximately 1200 BC and progressing through the Zapotec, Maya, Toltec, and eventually the Aztecs. Fertile farmland spurred agricultural advancements, with corn, beans, vanilla, avocado, peppers, squashes, and cotton becoming popular crops. Pyramid-style temples, elaborate pottery, stone monuments, turquoise jewelry, and other fine arts have been discovered. Scholars think the Zapotecs created Mesoamerica's first written calendar and writing system, but the Mayans are known for their advances in mathematics, hieroglyphics, architecture, and astronomy. Tenochtitlan, today's Mexico City, was constructed in 1325 by nomadic Aztecs on small islands in Lake Texcoco, and it quickly became a thriving trading hub. The Aztecs employed a 365-day solar calendar as well as a 260-day ritual calendar, conducted human sacrifice and bloodletting, invented a type of picture writing, and constructed works of art out of terracotta, feathers, mosaics, and stone. The 1519 Spanish invasion, commanded by Hernán Cortés, assisted by Aztec adversaries from Mesoamerica, brought the Aztec civilization to an end in 1521. When Cortés showed up, the Aztecs were having great difficulty maintaining control over their subject tribes, Harl said. They were greatly hated, and Cortés gave enough advantage to all those disadvantaged subjects to topple the Aztec Empire. What are your thoughts about the narrative I just told? Please leave a comment below. If you're interested, please click the subscribe button.